Hello, and welcome to week 5. Yay! I had to use YouTube again because my internet browser is still not allowing me to use the camera option, so I hope you're able to access my video, but I really enjoyed watching this week's video about the Native Americans and continuing to learn more about them and their culture. I can't say that it's what I thought that we were going to be learning about, which is a nice surprise. A previous course that I did through George Fox was Native American art, and that was really fascinating. So I'm glad that I'm continuing to learn more about the Native Americans. But just to dive into a couple of topics that I thought was interesting. At the very beginning, it was mentioned how the floodwaters from the Ice Age formed the cliffs that we may be familiar with today. And, when I think of Oregon and the river valleys that we see, it was also mentioned in the video that, the floodwaters from the Ice Age had caused that as well. So I thought that was interesting. I really loved the involvement, or just the mention of Oregon in the video itself. Being from Oregon, it's always fun to learn about your state. So learning about Fort Rock Cave and the sandals that were found from 10,000 years ago, it really caught my attention. Again, I thought it was fascinating that the sandals that were found majorly questioned past archaeological findings and theories, and it wasn't until carbon dating proved that man had been around that area for quite some time, where archaeologists started questioning more and more about what they previously believed. It was also mentioned in the video too that what happened and what was found at Fort Rock Cave back in the earlier 1900s changed Native American studies going forward. I also found it interesting about the native people gathering plants. I knew that was a practice that they, participated in, but using plants for rituals, medicines, and food, what I thought was the most interesting was that they would use tree lichen and moss to make bread. I didn't really think that was something that I don't think we would do it today, but I didn't know that was something that they were able to figure out. Lastly, the other thing that I found really fascinating was, the development of sign language throughout the Plains Indians to communicate across various tribes and through various languages. I'm unclear as to whether or not it's the same sign language that we use today, but the fact that they were developing that universal language to communicate, to one another was really fascinating to me. So those were kind of some of the main things that I took away. I also enjoyed learning about various tribes and groups of people that we weren't too familiar with, like the Klamath. One that I was actually pretty familiar with was the Plains Indians. I feel like that's a very common group of people that, we learn in past school and past history classes, but it was fun to learn about them again. But I really enjoyed also learning about the Fremont people, about them mainly being farmers and them mysteriously vanishing. by the year 1300. I'm very curious as to what happened with them, but yeah, again, those are kind of my key takeaways. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone had a good start to your week and a great last half of your week.